What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing very well. I was continuing to work on the Elemental Shaman today. As I promised in the last video, I was going to look at the Icefury build, potentially, because it just got buffed massively. Actually, Icefury and Frost Shock damage both got buffed, as well as all the other buffs we talked about in the previous video. The Icefury damage itself went up by 80%, which, made me wonder, is it worth trying to invest points into an Icefury plus Electrified Shocks kind of build? So, I did run it in a couple of Mythic Plus dungeons. This week, unfortunately, has just been a horrendous week to do Mythic Plus. Every healer has just turned their brain off this week, and it's, like, impossible to actually time a key. Having said that, I did get one of them done, which was really cool. And I'll show you my overall damage. We ended up doing about, was it 72k overall? Let me open this in another browser. We did about 72k overall, and that was really cool. And I'll show you the breakdown of my damage as well. Right, so here's my damage overall. You can see right there, we ended up doing about 72.5k. Not bad, like, we're keeping up with people. Could be doing better, for sure, but I don't even have really good trinkets. For Ele, I had better trinkets for, like, Resto. So just keep that in mind. But the damage overall, I was happy with. And then here's the breakdown. You're going to have Chain Lightning Overload being really big. Frost Shock being really high, actually. And then the actual Icefury damage itself, giga low. So the buff to Icefury, the 80% buff to Icefury is kind of irrelevant. But they did also buff Frost Shock damage, which is really what's more relevant. You can see it does quite a bit of damage over time there. And then I did have Lightning Rod. Now, I ended up switching my build from Lightning Rod over to double Stormkeeper. And let me just show you the talents here. Let's take a look at those. So, this was pretty cool. Here's the talent tree that I had set up in the latest iteration that I've had of this build. So, we don't go down the middle at all. We kind of pivot over here and get some Lava Surge, Lava Burst stuff. This is for single target damage mostly. Then we go through Surge of Power down to get greater, like the Primal Elementalist, so that our Storm Ele is our Super Ele, so that he can be using his big AOE ability, which of course ends up doing quite a bit of damage. That actually does around 3 to 5% of our damage, just the extra ability that we get from the Storm Ele, because he's a Super Chad. So I like doing that. And then this is the last point actually in the entire tree that I take, and this could really go a lot of different places if you wanted to. I just put it in Magma Chamber, but the big focus here is that you go and grab, of course, Stormkeeper plus Flash of Lightning, which means you're cooling down all of your lightning abilities, and you get second Stormkeeper down here, which I think is very interesting. You also grab Elemental Equilibrium and then the Mastery stuff. Mountains will fall, Echo Chamber, all down the middle here. Here's the middle part, right? Of course, Icefury with Electrified Shocks. If you've never played with this build, basically you want to be casting your Icefury, and then you get your next 4 Frost Shocks will do extra damage. And with Electrified Shocks, they will splash. So those Frost Shocks will hit 4 enemies and then cause those enemies hit to take 15% more nature damage, and your Chain Lightning will prefer those targets. So what it means is you have created a 15% damage buff that you need to maintain on the pack. So you get the Frost Shock going, then you splash Chain Lightning. You can do about 2 Chain Lightnings, 2 to 3 per Frost Shock buff that you have going. But generally speaking, it's just 2. So Frost Shock, Chain Lightning, Frost Shock, Chain Lightning, Chain Lightning. That's kind of the combo there, and you'll get the extra damage amp. Then we also have Stormkeeper, and we have 2 Stormkeepers. So what does that mean? It basically means that instead of having a 1-minute Stormkeeper, if you're patient with it, you can have a 30-second Stormkeeper. And guess what? Icefury is a 30-second cooldown. So you can pair every Icefury with a Stormkeeper every single time, which means you can do your big Frost Shock debuff on the enemies and then get a huge Stormkeeper that's going to overload, and then our overloads do more damage because of Echo Chamber down here. Now, they also do more damage because of our tier set bonus. Casting Elemental Blast or Earthquake increases our Mastery by 8% for 5 seconds, so we're getting even more chance to overload. Now, of course, with Stormkeeper, they're guaranteed to overload, but on the regular, you're going to get more overloads on your Chain Lightning, and your overloads are going to do more damage with Echo Chamber. So that's the big combo with this build. 30-second Icefury and then a 30-second Stormkeeper, as long as you don't blow both of them right away. Now, on certain packs in the dungeon, like I'm going to show you in Knockhood, it might be okay to actually blow them right away, because you're going to get tons of damage out of it. So let me show you the VOD here, just on the opener, because it does a crazy amount of damage in a Knockhood. All right, so, okay, here we go. This is our opener to a Knockhood offensive. Again, I've tried, like, the last 3 or 4 dungeons I've run, we haven't timed, because people are just, I don't know what's going on. People are really bad. But this is the opener in AOE. Remember, we have Icefury. We're going to get that going first. We're going to get our Storm Elemental out, and then we're going to get we're going to use both charges of Stormkeeper here. This gets pretty wild. So here comes Stormkeeper. My Ellie's out into Lust, and then Icefury. So now I'm going to Frost Shock the enemies, and I'm going to make sure I trigger my Elemental dude's ability. There we go. He does more damage as well, because the Frost Shock that you put on these enemies just increases their nature damage taken by 15%, okay? So my Chain Lightning does more damage. Billy's Chain Lightning over here does more damage. It's all really good. So I have Frost Shock. That's my first Chain Lightning. Then I'm going to Earthquake. Earthquake. Then we're going to Frost Shock into more Chain Lightnings. We're doing like 300k here in the opener. Now we have second Stormkeeper, because this is such a big AoE pack. You could use second Stormkeeper here if you want to. So here we go. Second Stormkeeper into big damage again. We're past 300k now on the damage. So it actually might have been a waste on this pack. The double Stormkeeper would be much better on like a plus 20, plus 21 on a fortified week in particular, where the mobs last longer. So now I've kind of used both my cooldowns. But look, Icefury's back, and Stormkeeper is only 15 seconds away. So again, it's the same combo. You just do Frost Shocks into Chain Lightnings. Chain Lightning, Earthquakes. I'm going to stun everybody here. And we're still doing respectable AoE damage. This is really good, right? Frost Shock. My Stormkeeper's back, so now I can Frost Shock into the Stormkeeper Chain Lightning, right? That's really what you want to keep doing. Have your Frost Shock on the enemies so that you can get big nature damage on them. And, of course, the entire time that we're doing this, all my cooldowns are going down. Every one of my cooldowns, which is so crazy. Your AG goes down whenever you cast a lightning spell. My Nature Swiftness goes down whenever I cast a lightning spell. Stormkeeper goes down, and Storm Ellie goes down. Like, even my utility with the healing from Ancestral Guidance goes down, which is super cool. It's just, yeah, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's actually really cool how Flash of Lightning even reduces the cooldown on your utility buttons, like Ancestral Guidance. I think it also works on Cap Totem. Let me check. Yeah, it does. Look at my Cap Totem cooldown. Watch Cap Totem here. Look at my Cap Totem. 10 seconds. I'm going to cast Chain Lightning. 9 seconds on Cap Totem. It goes down to 7, so I get a second off Cap Totem. So there's actually a crazy amount of utility that you're getting back from this build, and you're able to probably use more Cap Totems, which is really cool. Here's the next AoE pack. Again, we have Stormkeeper up with our Icefury every single time. You know, we don't have Lust, so this is going to be just an average amount of damage. Our AG's back, so we're going to use AG. But look at this, 120k on like 4 targets, 5 targets. It's great, man. And our Storm Ellie is coming back right now. So the real, like, honestly, to me, being able to play this build correctly means using your Storm Elemental and stuff correctly, using all your cooldowns correctly, because they come back so quickly. There's a really good chance that you're not going to realize they're even back. You're just going to be like, oh my god, how is my Storm Ellie back already? But he will be. And I forget to get Disrupting Shout there. That's actually another one goes off. Yeah, that's literally I'm just AFKing right now. That's my fault. I should be kicking Disruptive Shout. All the keys were really horrible this week. Honestly, it's been really rough trying to do these keys. Let me show you another opener here where I do AG healing right off the bat. This is the same pull on a different dungeon. I actually screw it up this time, so it's nowhere near as solid. But watch my AG healing here. Get him going, yada yada. The damage is okay, but I messed it up. I pop AG right now. Watch my healing. Look at everybody's dying. Watch my healing here. 24k, 38k, 51k. We just like literally we're full healing the group right now. It's such a cool combo that way as well. So the utility side, you can see nature AG's getting cooled down. My Cap Totem I didn't use because I'm bad at the game. And then the other thing I want to highlight is the mobility. you can basically combine like Spirit Walker's Grace with the instant cast Frost Shocks that you're getting. So I think I popped Spirit Walker's Grace like right now. I'm running with it right now. You also get to cool down Spirit Walker's Grace because of Flash of Lightning, which is so crazy. And I'm just bouncing around, dodging all these missiles from the range guys. All these little brown swirlies. I'm just dodging them all because I have instant cast Frost Shocks, and I'm obviously running around with Spirit Walker's Grace so I can channel my Chain Lightning, and we end up dying because every healer I ran with today was horrible. But let me just go back to the gameplay and show you a couple of important things here. The AOE combo is really cool, right? Icefury, getting the spread with Electrified Shocks, debuffing the enemies, making them take 15% more damage. Stormkeeper twice if you want to on the AOE pack. Your Elemental Equilibrium can proc because you just go Flame Shock into Icefury into your Stormkeeper stuff. So you can get 15% more damage from that. The AOE damage is really solid. The single target damage, I think, lacks a little bit, except that it basically pivots off of a couple of different buffs. Let me just get my toy out here, the turnip, and I'll show you this in a second. Turnip punch him, and let's put him right there. So the single target damage is really cool. It revolves around 3 buffs. First of all, you've got Master the Elements, okay? So this comes from Lava Burst. You cast Lava Burst, and it increases the damage of your next physical, nature, or frost spell. This also applies to Elemental Blasts, by the way, which is insane. So 20% more damage from that. Then you have Elemental Blast, which when you cast this, you get a Surge of Power proc, which you can then apply to Lightning Bolt. So, Lightning Bolt says your next cast will cause 2 additional Elemental Overloads. Remember, our Overloads are doing more damage because of Echo Chamber, right? So, also you can get Power of the Maelstrom proc from Lava Burst, which means your next 2 Lightning Bolts will overload, which is really, really cool as well. So, in AoE damage, there's a potential where I needed to be weaving in more Lava Bursts, and I think that's probably true. But you're kind of really busy with the whole Icefury Chain Lightning with Stormkeeper thing, and it does lots of damage on its own. So I don't think you... In AoE, you don't really have to capitalize on the Lava Burst buffs as much, but in single target, you should capitalize on Master the Elements, Power the Maelstrom, and the Surge of Power buff that you're using, all to buff your Elemental Blast and your Lightning Bolt. So it's really, really cool. Let me show you kind of what it looks like. We'll put the turnip up here. So in single target, again, you're cycling between Lava Burst into Lightning Bolt. Because, again, Master the Elements every single time you press Lava Burst. Once you get enough Maelstrom, you go Lava Burst into Elemental Blast into Lightning Bolt. Or you, because that's going to give the Lightning Bolt extra overloads, right? So here's what it kind of looks like. You would start off, we're just going to get a Flame Shock. We're going to cast our Lava Burst. Then we're going to go Lightning Bolt, okay? This is the basic cadence here. Lava Burst and Lightning Bolt. The Lightning Bolt's getting extra damage every single time, okay? Lava Burst. I'm going to charge this up for a sec, and then we'll go Lightning Bolt. Okay. Now, we have our Elemental Blast. So we go Lava Burst into Ele Blast into a Lightning Bolt. Another Lava Burst into a Lightning Bolt. Another Lava Burst into Lightning Bolt. You basically just don't ever want to do Lava Burst twice, okay? You don't ever want to do Lava Burst twice. Now, let's do this. Let's get our Electrified Shocks debuff on the enemy. So now we cast Frost Shock into our Lava Burst, into Ele Blast. Then we go Lightning Bolt after the Ele Blast. Always do Lightning Bolt after your Ele Blast. And with the Frost Shock debuff on the enemy, they're taking more damage from your Lightning Bolt, okay? Lava Burst, Ele Blast, into Lightning Bolt. You don't ever want to Ele Blast into a Frost Shock because that's going to do something different with Surge of Power. Remember that. So Surge of Power, it'll freeze the target in place. Every single time you do Ele Blast, you want to do a Lightning Bolt afterwards. That's really, really important. You can see Lightning Bolt, I cast it 13 times, but it's overloading. Every single time we cast it, it's overloading. So it hit 25 times, and we had a 90k crit, which is good. Ele Blast, we had a 263k crit because it's so ridiculous. And we're getting multiple overlapping buffs on Elemental Blast. Remember, the Electrified Shocks buff increases your nature damage. That buffs Elemental Blast. Your Elemental Equilibrium gives you 15% more damage. That will buff Elemental Blast as well. Your Master of the Elements buff from Lava Burst will also buff your Elemental Blast. So make sure you're trying to overlap all these different combos, right? So here's what it kind of looks like in real time. Let's summon our, let's go Stormkeeper into this guy. Start with your Icefury every single time. to get that nature buff going. Then we go into an Ele Blast. Then we go into a Lightning Bolt. And then we do our Frost again. And then we go Ele Lightning Bolt, Ele Blast. We're going to go Frost into Elemental Blast, into a Lightning Bolt. Try to always capitalize on Lava Burst, right? Always get the Master of the Elements buff going. Okay. Then we do this, and then our Icefury's back, so then we go like this. Back to Icefury. We'll get a Stormkeeper going. Big Ele Blast here into a big Lightning Bolt. It's going to overload multiple times. Then we go there. Lava Burst. The Frost Shock's are nice for generating Maelstrom as well, but Lightning Bolt. That's how it kind of works. So you're always cycling one ability into the other. Don't basically ever press two abilities back to back. That's not what you want to end up doing. It's really, really bad. So that's how the single target damage works. I just wanted to give you sort of example. I don't have a good example in a dungeon because literally everybody just was horrible in the dungeon. But that's the build, guys. I'm really enjoying it. My overall damage, like I said in the other dungeon, was over 75k. We had 72.5k. And again, our Chain Lightning and stuff was really high. The overload damage from that was really, really high. And our Frost Shock damage, you can see right there. So this is kind of what the breakdown will look like. Your Lightning Rod won't even be there if you're running double Stormkeeper, but you'll have way more Chain Lightning damage. So it's up to you. You can run either, you can do Lightning Rod if you want to. I just found the double Stormkeeper allowed me to have a 30-second Stormkeeper with my Icefury, which I thought was really cool because you always want to be capitalizing on the electrified shock damage. So that's the build, guys. That's it for me. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. There's a couple talent changes you could potentially make. I don't go down the middle of the tree because I really value having instant cast Lava Bursts from Lava Surge on single target. Really, really helpful. Magma Chamber's the only other point that I'm not sure where you might want to put it. You could put it in Call of Fire. You could take Echoes of the Great Sundering. I hate that playstyle, so I think Magma Chamber's just fine, actually. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. This is kind of the Icefury Lightning build. It is not take fire elemental. We're not getting, you know, the primordial surge stuff, but it has a lot of damage, and really it cools everything down because of Flash of Lightning, which I think is so cool. Getting your Nature Swiftness, getting your AG, getting Cap Totem back, getting like, oh, it's just crazy all the different cooldowns you get back from Flash of Lightning. So I really, really enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think this thing's got some legs. It'll actually pump damage in Mythic Plus. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.